Hello everyone. The solid diagonal cube is a bold, popular shape that you can make with Zen Magnets. It's the subject of at least 16 YouTube videos. Shown here are diagonal cubes with edge counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. In this video, we show how to build the shape directly, layer by layer, without the need for intermediate octahedron and cuboctahedron steps, using corners with 3 magnets. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 in this corner, etc., which are more stable than cubes with corners with 1 magnet. These 1 magnet corners tend to not stay in place. The component layers that are used to build the cube are perpendicular to the line joining opposite corners of the cube. So if I draw a line between these two opposite corners, then the layers that I'll use to build the cube are perpendicular to that line, in such a way that if you perch the cube on a 3 magnet corner, then the layers that we use to build it are horizontal. This table shows the number of magnets required for diagonal cubes with edge counts 1 through 12, along with the names of authors of pertinent YouTube videos. In this video, we build the shape for edge counts 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we present schematic diagrams that can be followed to build the shape for edge counts up to 12. And the written description tells how to build a cube for even larger sizes. This schematic shows the side view of a cube with edge count 1 perched on one of its 3 magnet corners. To build this cube, you'll need 3 layers, a filled 2x2 hexagon, and 2 1x2 triangles. The shape is easier to build if you surround each 1x2 triangle with a ring of temporary magnets, shown here in yellow, to be cut from the cube when it's assembled. To ensure proper polarity, we will wind all layers in the same way, either counterclockwise or clockwise, from the same end of the same magnet chain, and we will place them on the cube in the same way. So we'll start first with a diagonal cube with edge count of 1. It needs a 2x2 hexagon. So this is a central magnet, and then we'll wind a hexagon around that like that. That's all there is to it. Then we need a 1x2 triangle, shown in red. And then we wind an additional layer around that triangle of temporary magnets to look like that. We need 2 of those. And then we just sandwich them together. With the second 1x2 triangle offset from the first. Like that. So you get a sandwich, and now we just cut off the extra magnets, those yellow ones around the outside of the 1x2 triangles. Being careful not to move the magnets that will form part of the cube out of their places. So now we're going to take this ring of temporary magnets off. And that is the diagonal cube of edge count 1. So that's the top surface, right, etc. For the cube of edge count 2, we'll need 6 layers. 2 1x2s for the top and the bottom, 2 1x4s, but we're going to leave off the 3 corner magnets shown here in white. We're only going to place those on the cube after these 1x4s are on there. 2 of these, winding them all in the same way, from the same end of the same magnet chain. And then we need 2 2x4s, and these are made of a core of 6 magnets. So 6 magnets into a hexagon and then pressed into a triangle, and then 1 extra layer going around the outside, 1 extra ring of magnets going around the outside. So giving an irregular hexagon of dimensions 2 by 4. And to assemble it, we'll put the 2 by 4s together. They form the middle, one overlapping the other like this. Then a 1 by 4, and we will add the magnets we're showing here in white, the ones that are deferred now. Honoring the polarity as we go. And then the top layer is going to be a 1 by 2. Just pops on just like that. Then we're going to work on the underside. We have the 2 by 4, 2 by 4, 1 by 4, and 1 by 2 here. We need to add the 1 by 4 and the 1 by 2 on the bottom side. So I'm going to deliberately turn this cube over, remembering now that having turned it over, I have reversed the polarity. So each one of these pieces that I'm going to put on, I'm going to have to turn over also. And that's the diagonal cube of edge count 2. A pretty little thing with 62 magnets in it. Now we'll make the cube with edge count 3. We start with this central piece. This is a 4 by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 magnets by 4 magnets hexagon. It's going to sit right in the center of this cube. And I've got it underlined on the diagram here to denote that we only need 1 of those pieces, and we'll need 2 of each of the other pieces. So the 4 by 4 is wound from a core of a single magnet shown here in red, and then you wind a hexagon around that single magnet to make a 2 by 2 filled hexagon. Then we're going to add another ring shown here in dark green, and then another shown in light green. And once you get the system down, then you can just simply listen to the clicks and not even have to look at the piece while you're winding rings around it. If I hold this piece, look at this diagram, knowing that the next layer is going to be this light green ring, then I can just listen for the sound of 6 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I know at the end of the day that I've completed that ring of magnets. That's a 4 by 4. That'll serve as a center. These next 2 pieces, the 2 by 6s, are wound from cores of 1 by 2 magnets. So that's the core. And then we're going to wind 1 light green layer, one dark green layer, and then we're going to have to add a couple of magnets on at the end shown here in blue. So here's the light green ring. There's the dark green ring.
And now we add 3 chains of 2 magnets each to form a broken ring shown in blue.
That makes an irregular hexagon of 2 by 6. We need 2 of those. Then we'll need 2 1x6s, which are wound from a core of a 1x3 triangle made out of 6 magnets, like we did before. There's my 1x3, and I'm going to need 1 ring around that, shown here in light green. And we'll have these 3 magnets are deferred until after we place it on the cube. Need another one of these. Now we need a couple of 1x4s which have a core of a single magnet and a hexagon wound around the outside of it, like that, with the 3 deferred magnets like before. And 2 1x2 magnets. Like that, and we'll put it together, starting always from the middle and moving outward. We're going to be careful not to jostle the corners. Once a magnet's in place, try not to move it from its place, because that tends to weaken the corners and lead to anguish later on. So that's the 1x6 triangle. We'll go to the 1x4 on top of that. And add its corners now that it's in place on the magnet, on the cube. And sometimes it helps for these edge magnets to not put the magnet right smack in place originally, but to place it up here and then slide it into place. It seems like they hold a little bit better that way. And you notice also that the polarity is running this way. I'm still using the same end of this magnet chain and placing these magnets on as if I were winding another layer to honor the polarity as I move around. Then finally the 1x2 gets placed right on top. Now that did not go on well, so we will try it again. That didn't go well either. So I think what we'll do is use this other one. And get it in place like that. Make us another 1x2 for the bottom side. So that's the top side of the diagonal cube. Now we're going to carefully handle it. Place it on one of its 3 faces and begin working on the bottom side. Remembering that while we're on the bottom side, since we've turned it over, we're going to be now reversed polarity from the direction that I wound these pieces. So each one is going to be placed on its turned over before we place it on the cube. Now, remembering that we have the polarity reversed, I'm going to take a little length of the chain here, and I'm going to turn it over, or turn it around, so I'll get the polarity right as I put these corner magnets on. Just like that. Just work to make sure that everything's in its right place as we go. Next one is this 1x4. I'm going to take it, turn it over, place it on the cube, and then add its. Sometimes on these, as you get larger and larger, it makes sense to add these 3 magnets after you've added the 1x2 triangle. So let's go ahead and do that. Here's a 1x2. And here's a chain cut from the same chain that I'm going to turn around and then carefully add those into these edge spots. Just like that. So that is a diagonal cube of edge count 3. Sometimes these corners like to move a little bit out of place, but generally just a little nudge to place them back in the right spots is enough. If that's not enough, and if it refuses to stay put, you can try removing it. Just cut it off with a card, and then replacing it. And now for the cube with edge count of 4. It has 364 magnets in it. It has 4 layers in the bottom, 3 of which are labeled. A 1x2, a 1x4, a 1x6, and a 1x8 triangle. And we have also those same 4 layers that form the top third of the cube. Then in the middle third of the cube, shown here in purple, are hexagons, 2 2x8s and 2 4x6 hexagons. All of them are irregular hexagons rather than being equilateral. They're equiangular, every angle is the same, but 3 of the sides of the hexagon are shorter than the other 3. So the middle layers in general for this diagram and for all the other schematic diagrams in this video, the triangles on the top third and the bottom third are shown in orange ink, and the hexagons that form the middle part are shown in violet ink. As you can see, we got a little trouble on the top layer. This triangle got disrupted in the process. That can sometimes happen. And the easiest thing to do is just to cut those off and try again. So we've got a stable 1x4 triangle on here. Make sure everybody's in their proper places, and then we'll try putting another 1x2 on top of it. And there it is. So now we'll build the bottom side of it. It's our bird clock making a contribution here. Remembering now that we've turned this over, I'm going to have to turn all 4 of these pieces over in order to get the polarity right. Go ahead and put these corner magnets on.
I disrupted this corner by forgetting to reverse the chain before adding the magnet to the corner. So the corner magnet was added with the wrong polarity. To fix the disrupted corner, you can cut it off, as I have done, build another 1x2 triangle to replace it, and add it to the corner. And here I'm doing that now. Trouble is that one doesn't stick, and the reason is that I've wound that with the wrong polarity. So third try is the charm. Try a new 1x2 triangle, build it in the same way, but now turn it over and place it on there, and this time it sticks. So it's a word to the wise as you're adding these corner magnets to reverse the direction of the chain as I do here, and then place it on there while you're working on the underside. And here I break off a chain, reverse its direction, and place the third corner magnet on the piece.
Alright, next we'll go to this layer. And I forgot to turn it over. Tell that because it doesn't want to go into place. Just like that. And then this one I'm going to turn over. Put in place. And we're going to need that extra 1x2. Which I turn over. Like that. Now we'll take a chain of magnets, reverse its direction, and add on these corners. And it's these edges and corners that really make this shape a challenging one. Knowing what polarities are and working within that. Just make sure all our corners are squared up. And that, my friends, is a cube with edge count of 4.
Here are the schematics for edge counts 1 through 12, which are available in PDF format elsewhere. Thanks for watching, and good luck.